Hello my friend, a few months ago I reviewed this Buzz Zone, a synth plugin from the guys over at Toybox Audio, and I loved its ease of use and its quality sounds. And since reviewing it, it's been a synth that I've regularly reached for and used on projects. So I was super pleased to hear from them recently when they said they've got a new synth coming. This is their latest plugin, FM Zone, and I was super excited to hear that it's based around late 80s synths. That's right up my street, and if it's up your street too, you definitely want to check this video out. So I'm going to start this video off by telling you that I am in no way a synth nerd, although I absolutely love the sound of synths. I love using synths in my productions, but I'm not the kind of guy that's going to spend a whole afternoon or hour upon hour twiddling with oscillators and envelopes. I'm much more the kind of guy that's going to dive into a synth and want to find a preset or some sounds that work, that are in the ballpark, and then sculpt it from there. And that's something that I really like about these Toybox synth plugins. Yes, if you want to get nerdy, if you want to dial in, it's all there for you. But the sounds and the presets inside these synths are excellent. Presets like this one, the brilliantly named McCartney Christmas, absolutely spot on. You've got a very good idea what you're going to get. To a preset like 90s Tance. Beautiful synth strings like this one, VHS Symphony. To super useful arpeggios like this one. Breaking this plugin down, essentially each preset is made up of two separate components. On the left here you've got your synth, and on the right hand side you've got your sample. So if I just disable the synth for now, here's the sample, which is our 808 kick. And if I turn that off and bring in our synth, we've got this sound. Both together, that creates our preset. So in its simplest form, you can mix and match if you just want this sound. You can just take out the sample, and vice versa if you just want this kick sound. You can just keep that in. Along the top here, you can play around with the attack and the release of a sound. Release. You can play around with the pitch of the sound. It's just incredibly satisfying doing that. You can play around with the width of a sound. To narrow, to wide. And on the far side here you have a whole range too of reverbs and effects. Stuff like flanger. So you can use these dials to very simply and easily just sculpt your sound to suit your project. And for those of you that really want to deep dive into this synth, you've also got a whole bunch of controls for the respective synth and sample components. You can also click on this line here too to play around with the envelopes. Now once you have kind of found a preset you like, if you want to tweak it a bit further, you can dive into the sound. So say I've got this JP Stacklow sample here that I really like, I can then choose what synth I want to blend it with. So let's say I don't like the preset sound that's come within the preset. I can then dive into here and I can choose from a whole bunch of different sounds to make my own preset, and now I can play around with it from there. As I said at the top of this video, FM Zone is inspired by late 80s synths. So I think it's time to get creative and let's make an 80s inspired piece of music using FM Zone. Okay, so let's get busy having some fun creating an 80s vibe production. I'm going to start things off with this very 80s drum loop from within Lander Chromatic. There's lots of great 80s vibe sounds within Lander Chromatic. This is what this sounds like. That's a great foundation. I actually reached for Buzz Zone, the predecessor to FM Zone from Toybox Audio, to get some hats into that drum loop. Check these out. And I started off using Buzz Zone again for a Moog style bass. I'm going to switch over to FM Zone in a minute and show you some bass options. But I want to show you this bass first of all from within Buzz Zone because it sounds great and I've used this on quite a lot of projects this year. Beautiful stuff. Let's just flip over into FM Zone. I want to show you some of these basses. Plenty of 80s vibe. Let's go back to the first one. Got this sound, trance rhythm, which is a really useful sort of synthy. Again, one of the presets. Let me open that up. If you recall that techno bass and kick which I used earlier in the video, I've just knocked out the kick. I'm just keeping that synth sound, and that works great when you bring in the rest of the rhythm section. Kinda got a 80s hospital drama meets Knight Rider kind of vibe. And to hammer home that vibe, I'm going to build up a melody sound using a combination of one sound from Buzz Zone and a couple of sounds from FM Zone. So to start things off, what I mean about these presets in both of these synths. This is Night Drive in the 80s from Buzz Zone, but I want to give it a little bit more attack and definition. So now I'm reaching for FM Zone. Together. That vocal preset is kind of just a bit haunting, works really, really well. And also underpinning that, I've also got from FM Zone a kind of Rhodes style. I'll give it a bit more definition. Another preset. Just getting the attack in. Let's bring those three together. Now let's bring those all in together. Take a listen. Big 80s theme tune vibes. Let's bring in a bit of Nile Rodgers style guitar. So that's FM Zone from the guys over at Toybox Audio. I know this is a sponsored video, but I have genuinely been using Buzz Zone a lot this year, and I know I'm going to be getting a lot of use out of FM Zone too. It just sounds great. It's the kind of sounds that I will use in a lot of my productions, and I love those presets. I find it very simple to use, it gets the job done, and it also puts a smile on my face too. There's a lot of happy accidents that happen with this plugin. It's really good fun to play around with. I'll leave a link below this video so you can find out more about FM Zone and Buzz Zone 2 over at the Toybox Audio website. And if you did enjoy this video today, of course don't forget to like and subscribe. You'll also find a free mix course below this video too, if you want to get your mixes to the next level from your home studio. And if you did enjoy this video today of Toybox Audio's excellent FM Zone, you definitely want to check this next video coming up of Toybox's other synth, Buzz Zone.